Well, of course, we are awaiting more confirmation on exactly how many people have been killed, how many have been injured. Reports as of now suggesting that 25 could be killed and about 11 are being treated as of now. But we are awaiting a confirmation along that front from one of the railway officials as well. One of the tragic stories you heard was that of a UKG student, Dhanush, and his parents saying that his child is his life. He doesn't know how he will cope with such an incident, and if something happens to his little kid, his kid has managed to survive but is still being treated. And of course, very, very tragic scenes being witnessed at these hospitals as well, where parents have gathered, and we do understand that the children are now at the Yashoda hospital and they are being treated further there. Arun, of course, it looks like there is a lack of clarity with regards to the numbers, but the parents will be so shocked over what happened. Very, very unexpected. And they also went on to speak about the fact that they have been trying to go ahead and appeal to the government and the authorities to put up that particular gate and ensure that this is not an unmanned railway crossing.
That's right, Akshita. That seems to be the point that is coming up now at this point of time as we speak, because the parents are expressing anguish. They are saying that this was an unmanned crossing. They have time and again returned to the authorities. Remember, at this point of time, this particular part of the country, Andhra Pradesh, the then undivided Andhra Pradesh.
7 months అయితే ఇంతవరకు గేట్ పెట్టలే మేడం అది దాంతో అయింది మేడం యాక్సిడెంట్ అది అంతేగా దాంతో పాటుగా పక్కనే ఉన్నటువంటి ఇంకో విలేజ్ లో కూడా ఆటో యాక్సిడెంట్ అయిందని విన్నాము ఇప్పుడు జరిగినటువంటి ఈ సంఘటన జరిగిన కొద్ది రోజుల కిందనే ట్రాక్టర్ గుద్దుకుంది అనేది ఇలాంటి వరుస సంఘటనలు జరుగుతున్నాయి దీనికి సంబంధించి మరి మీరు గట్టిగా పోరాడలేదా మా గేట్ కావాలి అని చేసినాం మేడం కావాలని చాలాసార్లు అప్లికేషన్ ఇచ్చినాము చాలాసార్లు విజ్ఞప్తి కూడా చేసినాం రైల్వే అధికారులకు డిఎం గారికి అందరికి చాలాసార్లు ఇచ్చినాము అప్లికేషన్ ఇప్పుడు వరకు చేసిరు మేడం చేసినా కానీ దాన్ని ఇంతవరకు గేట్ పెడతలేడు మేడం అసలు ఎందు గురించి అది ఇప్పుడు వర్క్ అయిపోయింది షెడ్ కట్టిండు రూమ్ కట్టిండు అంత కట్టిండు కట్టిన తర్వాత కానీ ఇంతవరకు దాని గేట్ వేసి అయిపోతున్నాయి కదా మేము ఈ రోజు ఇన్ని ప్రాణాలు పోకపోతున్నాయి కదా మేడం ఇంతవరకు పట్టించుకోలేదు మేడం అది ఏందో మేడం అది దాని విషయం అంతే మేడం సో మొత్తానికైతే ఒక నిర్లక్ష్యం అనేది ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఉన్నటువంటి రైల్వే లైన్
And of course, even as we were discussing the fact that maybe a gate should have been put up at that crossing, Arun, one of the officials once again stating that several applications were made for the same. An accident had taken place similar to this one involving a tractor. So it looks like there were several warnings that something like this was in the offing.
That is right, Akshita. It appears to be a case of extreme neglect on the part of the authorities. And remember, the authorities cannot wash their hands off, because if you are talking of this part of the country, this was the undivided Andhra Pradesh, and at that point of time it was served. There is a railway headquarter, ironically enough, in Secunderabad. That is what is called as the South Central Railway, SCR. That is a zone which has been in existence for several years now, because of the fact that there is a huge amount of traffic which passes through this particular route. You have a separate zone. The South Central Railway zone has been in existence for the past several years, but clearly, as one of the parents rightly pointed out, it has been a case of utter neglect on the part of the divisional manager of the South Central Railway. He is virtually not bothered about this particular issue. As the correspondent for TV9 Telugu channel rightly asked, there have been several such instances which have happened in the past. Reminders have been sent. There have been letters and representation made to the railway authorities. Ironically enough, this is the same area, this is the same city which is the headquarter for a zonal railway authority, that is the South Central Zone Rail Authority. Despite the fact that it is a zonal headquarters, very little has been done, and the very fact that 25 children have had to pay up with their life. Of course, one may argue by saying that this was not the fault technically of the railways, it was the fault of the parents and perhaps even the school authorities are a manned crossing to be put up at that place, but that request was not adhered to, and that has landed in this particular tragedy which happened 9 o'clock this morning. clearly there is a case of negligence on the part of the railway authorities, Akshita.
Absolutely, that is something that of course will lead to a lot of debate in future as well. And let's once again listen into exactly what one of the doctors present there had to say.
Oka babunu we couldn't save because he came very late and gasping lo chadu atanu enta resuscitate chesina we couldn't survive him. Other 11 we have taken CT scans and we are resuscitating, and meanwhile Harish Rao garu and they came and they are shifting to Yashoda Hospital.
So migitha valla condition anta stable ga unda?
Bit stable ante we are evaluating. CT scan chesamo, CT scan lo em changes levu kani konni fractures unnai, konni jaw fractures, konni hip fractures unnai.
One of the doctors going ahead and stating that one child who was brought in was too late to save them, but the others of course are in fact being treated, 11 of them being treated. Several of them have suffered jaw and hip fractures besides breaking their limbs, is what we understand, is what the doctors have gone ahead and confirmed. Many of them are in need of better treatment, of being shifted to an ICU, and they are being admitted to the Yashoda Hospital. And let's listen into what ADGP Anil had to say about this particular incident.
वडियारम और मसाईपेट के बीच में वहाँ एक अनमैन्ड लेवल क्रॉसिंग है, वहाँ से काकटिया टेक्नो स्कूल की बस ने जो है बिना लेवल क्रॉसिंग के जो प्रिस्क्राइब्ड प्रिकॉशन को ध्यान में रखते हुए और ट्रेन से टकरा गई। वो नॉर्मल प्रिस्क्राइब्ड प्रिकॉशन ये हैं कि ड्राइवर को अनमैन्ड लेवल क्रॉसिंग पे रुकना चाहिए और उसका जो अटेंडेंट है गाड़ी का, उसको उतर के दोनों तरफ ट्रैक का क्लियरेंस देखना चाहिए कि कोई गाड़ी तो नहीं आ रही है, ट्रेन तो नहीं आ रही है, और उसके बाद उसको पायलट करते हुए क्रॉस करानी चाहिए अपनी बस या वैन, और फिर बाद में उसको बस में बैठ के अपना जाना चाहिए। तो प्राइमा फेसी लगता है ये प्रिकॉशन नहीं लिया गया और ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण हादसा हुआ है। हमारे जो वरिष्ठ अधिकारी हैं डीआरएम हैदराबाद डिवीजन के और जीएम साउथ सेंट्रल रेलवे के, वो इस स्पॉट के लिए रवाना हो गए हैं। वहाँ पे 20 एम्बुलेंसेस पहुंच चुकी हैं, घायलों को अस्पताल पहुंचाया जा रहा है।
ADGP Anil going ahead and stating that yes, all possible rescue operations are currently on there. About 20 ambulances are at that spot to rush children on for immediate medical care, and they are being admitted to the Yashoda Hospital, is what we understand. Several children in need of better care, of intensive care, and of course we will have to wait and watch to see how much further we will have to of course wait before we know the exact death toll as well as those injured. As of now, it is understood that somewhere between 40 to 50 children could have been inside that particular bus. And looks like the rescue operations are currently on. They are trying to pull out as many children as they can.
ఇక్కడ మీ యొక్క కుటుంబమే కాదు అంటే రైల్వే ట్రాక్ క్రాసింగ్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల జరిగిందంట. క్రాస్ అయితే బండి ఖరాబ్ ఆగిపోయిందా సార్, ఆగిపోయినాడు వచ్చి ట్రైన్ కూర్చున్నాడు సార్, అంటే ట్రాక్ మీద ఆగిపోయిందా, ఆగిపోయినాడు సార్, ఖరాబ్ అయినాడు బస్, ఖరాబ్ అయినాడు, ట్రాక్ మీద ఆగిపోయినాడు. అంటే ఖరాబ్ అయిన తర్వాత పిల్లల్ని దిగమని చెప్పలేదా, ఏమైందంట మీకేమన్నా చెప్పారా? అంత స్పాట్ లో బస్ వస్తే వస్తూనే ఉన్నాడు, ఆగిపోగానే అంత స్పాట్ లో ట్రైన్ వస్తూనే ఉన్నాడు, ఆగిపోయినా ఇక్కడ అది లేదా, క్రాసింగ్ లేదా? ఇంతకుముందు ఎప్పుడైనా ఇట్లా జరిగిందా? ఇంతకుముందు ఎప్పుడైనా ఇట్లా జరిగిందా?
ఇంతకుముందు అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ జరగలేదు, కానీ ఇదైతే ఫస్ట్ టైం. ఇంకా ఘోరంగా అయితే పెద్దగా
ఒక్కరే కాదు, చూస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ పిల్లలు అందరూ చనిపోయి పడి ఉన్నారు. విగత జీవులు ఉదయాన్నే అందరినీ తయారు చేసి ఈ పిల్లల్ని స్కూల్ కు పంపిస్తే వారు ఇప్పుడు పూర్తిగా విగత జీవులుగా మారిపోయారు. వారి స్కూల్ నుంచి సంబరంగా తిరిగి వస్తారు అనుకున్న వారిని ఇక రాని లోకాలకు పోవడంతో ఒకరొకరు సొమ్మసిల్లి పడిపోయినటువంటి పరిస్థితి. తల్లిదండ్రులు ఎవరిని కూడా మాట్లాడించలేకపోతున్నాం. వారి బాధను అర్థం చేసుకోవచ్చు. రైల్వే ట్రాక్ ఇక్కడ క్రాసింగ్ లేకపోవడం, అంటే దాని మీద గేట్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల ఈ సంఘటన జరిగిందని చెప్తున్నారు. బస్సు ఆగిపోవడం వల్ల ఈ సంఘటన జరిగిందని కూడా చెప్తున్నారు.
What you see on your screens are parents, in fact, sitting with the bodies of their children, mourning their beloved's death. This is, of course, very close to that accident site. Even as the children's bodies are being fished out, the parents have gathered there as well. As soon as they heard of the accident, they have rushed to that spot. Several of them seen clutching on to their children's bodies, refusing to let go and mourning the incident.
That's right, Akshita. Very gut-wrenching story. Some of the parents.
బాధని అర్థం చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఒక్క కొడుకు కొడుకు కూడా చనిపోవడంతో ఇక్కడ
And of course, as you could see, a lot of grief amidst those family members as well. It is something that was very unexpected, Aruna, and in fact it is so tragic to see all those parents gathered sitting with the bodies of their children and mourning the death. Absolutely no words they have to describe what has happened.
That's right, Akshita. Some of the parents going on to say that we got these children up in the morning, we got them dressed for school, but now they will be heading to the cremation ground. It's a very, very gut-wrenching situation. 25 innocent children, that is what we are getting to know from the Chief Public Relation Officer of South Central Railway, Sambasiva Rao, who said that 25 children have perished in this horrible, extremely avoidable accident. Remember, this was an unmanned level crossing. The driver was in haste. He tried to cross the railway track before the oncoming Nanded Hyderabad passenger, and before he could cross, it had actually hit the van and 25 children. Remember, there must have been about 40-45 children in this van, tiny tots, all of them unable to comprehend what was going on. Barely, some of them would have been in standard 1 or standard 2. All of them eager to go to school, to meet their friends, to learn, but now they are headed to the cremation ground. What a tragedy.